still our next spot on Money Right Thursday's edition. We have, lady seated here now.
Right.
That's a beautiful one. So you see, women are taking charge, women in power. We're going to be talking about women in governance. Joining us here in the studio is Engineer Miracle Arimobi, the SSA to the governor on women mobilization. Good morning, madam. Good to have you.
Good morning.
Good
Thank
morning.
you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we see here a woman of substance, a strong woman. It is not easy. And SSA to the government on women mobilization. It is not easy to mobilize women. It's not easy, but for you to have that stick, or for you to have that mantle, that means you are actually a very strong personality. And I want to congratulate you and say kudos to you for that position.
Thank you.
Okay, so speaking about women in governance, are there risks involved? A woman trying to be in power, because sometimes the men come out and say, oh no, women cannot be in power, they cannot rule, they cannot do this, they cannot do that. But you know that of a truth, when a woman touches something, you see the change.
It turns
so
to
what would you
gold.
say? Yes, what would you say about women in governance?
So women in governance, there's a touch, like you said, when it comes to women getting involved. One of the reasons why we keep advocating for more women to be included in politics is because, in politics and in governance, is because women have this administrative spirit. They have this knowledge that is way different from the men. I'm not saying the men are not intelligent, but I'm saying there's always a difference when the woman is included. And there are risks involved, because there's this discrimination. Oh, she's a woman, she's supposed to be at home cooking for her family and not getting involved in what has to do with holding leadership roles and all. But then if the woman is not included in this governance, in leadership position, in policy making, how do they now know that this is what affects the woman? Because if a woman is not there when the policy is being made, or when policies are being made, how do I put it? A woman knows a woman better. So when a woman is in a leadership position, she knows how to explain, this is what the women want. They begin to advocate for what women want. So there are disadvantages to these things, because once you start advocating for what women want, the men who don't want it will start fighting you for it. It's normal. But then we won't stop advocating for more women inclusion in governance and in politics.
Okay. What are the factors that you would say are responsible for low representation of youths, especially ladies, in nation's political space?
So when you say the low factors,
yes,
right, I would say when we don't have a lot of female youths representing us in leadership positions, there's a lot of disadvantage. Don't get me wrong. I keep advocating for women being involved, because I said this politics when I don't have a father who is in politics. I don't have a mother who is in politics. And starting politics, I said I want to hold this position. I want to be included. I want to be part of the system. Now, coming into the system, I met a lot of disadvantage.
Okay.
And those disadvantages I met were things I would say a lot of people probably have met it before I came in, but I didn't stop. I kept pushing for it. Today, I can tell you that over 15 females have been empowered through me in this state. Now, if we have people like me who key into this opinion I have, into this fire burning inside of me to keep pushing for more inclusion, and they are there won't be a lot of disadvantage, because if 10 persons are involved and they are empowering over 15 persons each, that's over 150 persons already empowered in the
Okay, so
system.
you are still here because you were discouraged, but then you decided to stay. So you were relentless. But then some persons who are watching might say you probably had a mentor who kept pushing you. How about those women who don't have? You say, okay, you say your dad is not a politician, your mom is not a politician, but there probably might be a mentor who you look up to. What of women who don't have any mentor? What do they do?
Okay,
And they want to be in
And
politics.
they want to be in politics and grow.
Okay, so there's this initiative called the Power of Her.
The power?
The Power of Her.
Okay, the power of her.
Yes, the Power of Her is an initiative that is being run by my office. And what do we do there? It's a very simple thing. We're trying to empower young women in Delta State. Now, how do we empower them? We're trying to create access for them. because a lot of young people want to get involved, but they don't have the access. Like you said, they don't have maybe the mentor. They need a mentor. To hold a leadership position, you need to be equipped for it. You need to be mentored. So that is the reason why we are doing the Power of Her. There's a program coming up in October. And by the grace of God, we are going to bring a lot of women leaders, both in the state and outside the state. They are going to come and they are going to equip over 1,000 young women in Delta State. And it's not just about engagement. There will also be mentoring process, supportive programs, campaigns and all, to see how these people can be equipped for.
You said in October?
Yes, in October.
She said it. Hold up my words.
In October, yes.
Okay.
It's going to be in October. Okay. And it's a big program.
Yeah.
It's a big program. Anything that has to do with women, it's actually big.
Yes.
Women are
colorful.
Yes.
Women are big. Women are colorful. Women are the system.
Yes.
People don't. I don't want to speak out of tone, but people don't understand the power we need. We hold a very strong power. That's why we came up with the name, the Power of Her, because there's a power in a woman. Every woman is a star. Like, there's something about women that it drives people crazy. When you come into something and you put in the effort, you put in that drive, things begin to change.
Okay.
When you come into a system and the thing is not working well, when you put in your knowledge, your value, things begin to change. So if every woman in Delta State is involved in the system, when I say the system, I mean the governance system, the leadership system of Delta State, the policy making system. If we have the likes of Marilyn Okowa, who is representing the House of Ikanotis at the House of Assembly, we have the likes of her in the 100 in Delta State. We have the likes of Bridget Anyafulu, we have the likes of Orode Oduaga, Shimite Bello, and the rest of them. In Delta State, in numbers, we know what we're pushing for. The narrative will be different.
Okay.
So yes, that's
so
it.
is your office thinking about catching them young? Because I believe that when you catch these young girls, because that's at that age is actually where they get that mentality of good, bad, you know. So I don't know if you have a program that you can actually use to catch those young ones who might be interested in politics, and then you start grooming them, or for skills acquisition, something like that, just for the young ones in school.
Okay, so we didn't have a plan for secondary school education initially. Like, for example, right now we're working with over 12 vice SUG presidents, because they are all females in Delta State, both in polytechnics and the universities. We have all of them part of the Power of Her. That's the initiative we're running, the platform. Now, why we have those people is because we want to do a campus tour where we go to these campuses. We then start speaking and canvassing and letting them understand why they need to be involved. There is a need for everybody to be involved. I mean, mostly the women. There's a need, because it's a different thing entirely when women are involved.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Now, we don't have plans for secondary school initially. But about a few days ago, when I was talking with my team, and then we're like, okay, we'll catch them young, we'll go to secondary schools, because I think that is where it starts from.
Yes.
We'll meet up with these people, we'll see how we can talk to them, engage them actually, and see how to equip them at the level they are, because there's a level in every political system. So at that secondary level, we will equip them with what they need to know at that level, and then we'll go to the university level and let them know what they need to know. After then, we come together, have a round table with women leaders in the state and outside the state, and those who are not in the state, who are not women leaders, see how we can do better.
Okay, I like the fact that we're talking education now. So what would you say is the role of the Nigerian educational system in propelling and dissuading youth participation in nation's politics?
The Nigerian education system. Well, I would say I don't know, because when I was in school, I didn't do political science. I did engineering as a person. I studied engineering, and while in school, I joined the student union government. So I had this drive. My drive came from joining politics in school.
Okay.
You mean students' politics. And it was from that student politics, this drive kept growing till I got to the level I am today, and it's not stopping, because we're still going high. So if they do political science in school, but I didn't do it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how it affects them. But I know that you have to be educated to be involved.
Okay.
That's why we keep pushing for education.
Okay.
School is not a scam.
Okay. So education is important.
Yes, you need it. Education is important. No matter how you try to run away from it, you have to be educated to be involved.
Okay.
You know?
So do you think that enough women are actually being carried along in the scheme of things? Do you think that women are being carried along? Like there's, let's say some persons come out to say, okay, let's use you for example now as SSA, you come out to say you want to do these things. Do you carry other women along in the scheme of things, in whatever you're doing?
Okay, yes, I do, because I want to give you an example. So when we kicked off the Power of Her, the initiative, the first thing I did was to look out for 150 women in Delta State. I created a group chat and I added all of them there. There are different sectors, the people in politics, people in leadership positions, in bank sectors, in the ministries, PS, permanent secretaries in ministries, people who are directors in ministries as well. I brought all these women together in a group chat and I told them my idea. The reason is I cannot do it alone.
Yeah, sure.
I can't do it alone. I need them. So I told them my idea. That's also carrying them along. And whatever they told me at that time, because most of them messaged me privately to say, okay, this idea is good. I think we should do this. We should do that. They gave me their own ideas. And, you know, today we have a very mighty program coming up because we had more women included. So yes, I for one, I carry women along. And I will still tell you that the Delta State government carries women along.
Okay, you feel the Delta State government is giving more women appointments?
Yes, for example, we have over 500, for my data, we have over 500 women that are SSAs and SSs to the governor of Delta State. We have over 2,000 women that were empowered recently through more grants, the Ministry of Humanitarian and Girl Child Support Services. There was a more grant thing they did recently, and over 2,000 female entrepreneurs were empowered.
Okay.
So these entrepreneurs, did they know somebody that knew somebody?
No, they didn't.
You're sure?
I'm very sure of this
No,
because
no,
I was involved.
Okay.
I was involved. The commissioner who is Honorable Orode Oduaga, she's the commissioner for that ministry. She's a young woman who is doing very well. She also carried us along. You know, she made us understand that this is what I want to do. These are the ideas I have. How do we make it? How do we execute it? Now, these are the kind of people we need in the system. So we planned this together. She, of course, she's the commissioner. She went ahead. She picked the select, like people registered for these things online, and when they registered, they got selected for their requirements and all, and they were given the grants. Okay. Nobody said this is my father or my name came from here or no. There was nothing like that sort.
But when such grants are being given, some persons do not get to hear about it. You only get to hear that the grant has been given. So how do you communicate to people, you know, letting them know that? Because I know that if you really go down to the grassroots, there are vulnerable women who need
genuinely also need these grants.
But they don't get access to those information. So how do you do that?
So now, I think there is something we do. Like, the governor gave appointments to a lot of women in the state, young people especially. And now these people are from different local governments in the state. Now, when such opportunities come, these people are aware of it. So if they are aware, it is now in their courts to tell those who are from their local government to say, there's a grant going on. I think you need to get involved. So that's the reason why they were given an office. I don't know if they are doing it, but I am doing it.
Okay.
You understand?
But some persons will say that when those in the local government get to hear about it, they probably only tell those that they know. And then there are other people who genuinely need the money or grants, as you say, but they won't get to hear about information until it has happened and the grant has been given.
Actually, they actually got to know about it because there's this social media. Social media is a very wide place. And these links are out there online. They were posted like literally everywhere. So people were able to register, get involved and all. So a lot of persons were involved. All
right, before we let you go, quickly tell us, what about women who are not supporting? Give your advice to women who are not supporting women and to women who are fully in politics. What is your advice for them as we round off? Okay,
so the thing is, my advice for women who are not supporting women is that they should please try and support more women to get involved. And those who are already in politics, those who are women leaders, we are partnering with them. A lot of them are working with us right now. But I keep begging, when we come to your office, give us access to talk to you about what we have and how we can impact on more female leaders in the state and more female youths.
All right. Thank you so much. You have spoken well indeed. And we have been speaking with Engineer Miracle Arimobi, the SSA to the governor on women mobilization, and we have been talking about women in governance, and she has told you that please, if you know you're not supporting women in governance, please do well to support them. And for those who are in practice, who are in power, do your best to do well and do more, and also carry women along. And there's also something coming up in October, but I'm sure before then we'll have you again to come talk more about that program. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for coming.
Very much for having me.
All right, so this is where we drop the ride, Thursday's edition, morning ride at 8th of August. And from Chizzy.
Right. So for me, I will usually say be kind with in your words and with your action. But this morning, I'm going to be saying be kind to your fellow woman. Fix a woman's crown and do not destroy a woman. I'm Chizzy Awuno. Good morning.
Okay. And from me, I'll say let love lead and stay happy always. Remember, today is Happiness Day. Okay, on behalf of the producer making Morning Right Thursday's edition, Vivian Nkechika, and also the crew behind the Morning Ride, and also not leaving our own special producer, Nimbofa Ozigbo. My name is Lilibet Ugochukwu, saying have a beautiful day and bye for now.